What's up, guys? Welcome to Gin and Juice Podcast, episode 17. I'm Michael.
Chat.
And we're here to give you what you want, which is some UFC. So let's talk about it. Adesanya, we're going to start there.
Yeah.
Or as we should all be calling him, Adesanya.
Adesanya.
That's how we're supposed to pronounce his name. But yeah, so he absolutely killed it. Obviously, we all know that. We're not here to talk about how much he killed it. That was amazing. But that entrance.
Yeah, man. One of a kind. As he was doing it, I'm like, yo, top, just not even top three, like the best performance or entrance ever in the UFC, man.
In the UFC, 100% one of the best entrances. And what's funny is it used to be like widespread in like Pride. Guys would have
that's what I was like thinking. Yeah,
interesting walkouts, right? And now you're just sitting from this perspective and you're just looking at it. You're like, wow, like he's really coming out there. He's dancing. He's being authentically himself. I loved it. It really was a moment where he was able to showcase who Israel Adesanya is at his core. I absolutely love it. He's like a guy out of a Marvel character, like comic book. In fact, he was saying, "Hey Marvel, let's collaborate" at the end of the fight.
Makes sense, man. He's like one of a kind. His nerdy side definitely shines through as well.
Yeah.
All the dancing and stuff. What I loved was that it was his buddies that he danced with, some people that he knew from way back when.
Exactly.
Which is awesome when you like kind of can help other people out, like that, were there from day one, the day oneers, That's awesome. I loved everything. He can dance his fucking ass off and he can fight his ass off. So I fucking killed Whitaker, like honestly Whitaker. I don't know if it was just the time off. I don't even think so. I think even Whitaker said, this is the best I felt. There's nothing I could have done differently. I actually really like the way Whitaker took the defeat and didn't really try to make any excuses.
Right.
That was pretty cool. And I think Adesanya just proved that he's the next star of the UFC.
I can't wait to see what he does. Honestly, I get shades of Anderson Silva. I really do. He's got this aura about him. We were just watching this video actually talking about Mike Tyson's aura, and everyone's got that aura that they come in there with. Some guys are calm.
Right.
Some guys are collected. Some guys are focused. Some guys are very aggressive. Well, when he comes in there, he's like water. He's very flow.
Very chill and
It's like everything's moving. He's in the Matrix, and he's Neo.
Yeah.
And like everything's slow.
Yeah.
And I love watching a guy like him because he calculates times and executes with absolute precision. Like, he is so accurate. It's crazy. I love watching him strike. It's so fluid. It's so... Like, I remember a crazy stat came up halfway through the fight, and I believe it was 11 significant strikes were landed by Whitaker and Adesanya, right? But only half of the amount of attempts that Whitaker took to get to 11. So 11 out of 44 for Whitaker, and that's 25%, and 11 out of 22 for Israel Adesanya. That was crazy.
Yeah.
You're just cutting it right down the middle.
Yeah. No, I don't know, man. I think I don't know if it was a mistake on Whitaker's part, but how they kind of went into a little bit of a phone booth kind of exchange.
Yeah.
A couple times, and that's a good. He needed to get in for sure. Whitaker needed to get in and get into that kind of fight with Adesanya because of the distance. But we saw that Adesanya can definitely fight at all ranges. He can take a punch. He can knock people out, even though he's the skinny black guy, like he was saying. He can knock people out.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome, man. I think what's coming up next for him is fighting Costa. And he was there. You know what I didn't like? If there was one thing I didn't like about Adesanya's whole performance was after the fight, he actually acknowledged Costa.
Right.
I didn't want him because he kind of let him not steal his shot. Obviously, can't do that, but gave a little attention to someone that didn't really deserve any attention in this particular moment.
You're rolling with the Jorge Masvidal model. It's
right.
Out of sight, out of mind. Don't give him any clout that he
exactly.
What's funny is I disagree. I'm on the other side. I'm on the other side of it. For me, I love the fact that, first of all, ignoring Costa, it's not that wouldn't have been Israel Adesanya's authentic.
That's right.
like self. I think he was just being himself. And what's funny is he flipped him off, gave him the double middle fingers, and he would just gave him the suck it at the DX suck it. Right. And like I think he knows that that's how you antagonize this guy. Get the bull super angry, like seeing red, and then like you'll be able to Jose Aldo that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great visual too. I think when they face off,
and he wants that, and he kept saying he was talking about that. You know, awesome. When you take the both of us and you look at the David versus Goliath,
right? Like, the skinny black dude versus the Hollywood.
That guy right there. Guy. That's what a champion looks like. Yeah, it's like let me beat this guy.
That's awesome, man. I think honestly, I don't think Costa can really do anything to.
The thing is, technically striking. The thing is, you can be as strong as you want.
Yeah.
Israel doesn't get caught. And when he did get... The one fight where we've seen him get swollen, like in recent memory at least, is Kelvin Gastelum. And if he can eat Kelvin Gastelum shots...
But Gastelum's so much ahead of Costa with the striking, if you ask me.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I don't think...
Costa's got some power.
Yeah.
And guys have been getting clipped.
Yeah.
And, like, if you're fighting a guy who... See, Adesanya doesn't only not throw many strikes, he doesn't get hit by many strikes. So you're in that fight, in that matchup, I'm not really sure if Costa's got what it takes, other than the fact that anybody can knock anybody in the world
out. But I mean, the last person he's gonna knock out is Adesanya.
I just see this Anderson Silva style where it's like he's like a cobra fighting in there.
Yeah.
Like his torso is just so long, and when he leans back, it's like your kick just went right past. But he doesn't over back up. So he's always in counter striking range. Like he knows how to get out of the way of your strike and then make you pay for it. He ate one of Robert Whittaker's punches and then threw two, gave him 2 for 1.
Yeah.
I love it, and I love how he pointed it out afterwards on the big screen. You know, looking at his handiwork. He's like, "Come on, DJ, run that track. You know, let's get it. Let me show you what's good." He's like, "Look, I told you I'm tough. I don't have knockout power." It's what he kept saying. Well, look at that.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that he's able to come out there. That's a good confidence builder for him. Costa's there. He acknowledged him, and all he did was just call him out. The best thing he could do is talk shit to this guy. And when when Izzy's got the mic, and you don't have anything to say anything to, you just gotta take all of it.
You know what? The build up to that fight should be entertaining.
Oh, he knows he's gonna come in there. And the thing is, what I love is the way he dealt with that. With Jon Jones, for example.
Okay.
I love the way he dealt with the Jon Jones situation.
Yeah.
Like Jon Jones, came wasn't really saying anything. Didn't want to. He was doing the clout avoidance. I'm not going to give this guy shine he doesn't need. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, when I get to heavyweight, what about then? Like I'm going to be moving up soon. Like blah blah blah. Like talking about this and that. I think just like Izzy said, he's a fan. He's a fan.
Yeah,
I think
that's kind of how he's acting a little bit. I mean, I can't lie. That's what it seems like. Like he's trying to piggyback on what attention Adesanya is getting right now, you know, and just I don't know. For me, from my perspective, it's not a good look on Jon Jones. Also, like have other people like already addressed. Obviously, you know, Jon is such a huge human being. He's huge and I don't know how he's gonna. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily bullying him because I definitely think Adesanya has like a chance, definitely. Striking is better, but what about the distance that Jon Jones is gonna have? That's okay. Our light just fell off. But yeah, so I don't know, man. I think that we are gonna actually see that fight.
Yeah.
Probably a year and a half from now, depending on what Jon Jones kind of like where his head is at.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you see that fight going down? For me, it's like I see Israel Adesanya as this counter striker who's able to like get out of the way of these attacks. Now, I don't think either of them have ever fought each other. I don't think either of them have ever like fought each other and like dealt with somebody that has almost the same kind of skill set.
I don't think so. Obviously, no. I think they are both very unique in their own way.
Right.
And that's why they're like on top of the game pretty much, those two guys. And I think it's an amazing matchup if we do end up seeing it because, I mean, come on, like, it's like, I don't want to say the same guy because they're very like stylistically different, but at the same time, they're both lanky and they're like kind of like
physically there's a
above the rest
for sure.
in many ways. But yeah, I think Jon Jones is a lot bigger. I think that if they faced right now, I think that'll be a bad matchup for
I would
Israel.
definitely take Jon right today.
Because, yeah, absolutely. The grappling is just going to make such a huge difference
I think this
in my
guy
mind.
needs to get a little bit more seasoning, defend the belt. He doesn't. He said he wants to be an active champion.
Yeah.
He said he wants to set a new standard. Fight. Said he doesn't want to just fight twice a year like some of these other people. He wants to fight 3, 4, 5, 6, not even 3, 4, 5, 6 times at a time. And I think that's really important. The fact that you can have a champion who wants to compete. We don't want to have somebody who fights once a year or is injured all the time. Like, that's not fun for the fans. It's not great for the division. Like, this is a dream scenario for the UFC to have him as a champion right now.
No, I don't think so. But regardless of all that, I think he doesn't want to miss out on an opportunity to make a lot of money because I think that a fight like that is potentially going to make a lot of money,
there's
right?
a lot of dollars involved there.
So I think they're going to, like, when the right circumstances arise and if Jon is up for it, because I don't know if how Jon, even though he's kind of trying to instigate it, I think he's also going to be cautious about actually, like, going through with the whole thing. So when the right number is put in front of both fighters and they decide on that number, I think that we're gonna see within a year and a half, considering all other factors.
I think a year and a half is the right amount of time.
Yeah,
that way Izzy's got another 4 fights in his belt by that time.
Yeah, so
and he needs more seasoning.
Maybe then it's gonna be even a better matchup.
Because we want to see some dominant wrestlers come and fight this guy, like Yoel Romero and these guys who come in there like fight like that. That's a different style of fight that he hasn't really been through. Like Kelvin Gastelum was the closest he could get to that. Like he's had in form of the biggest test in terms of wrestling, but he stood and they were boxing for a very long time. I'm talking about that determined type of grappler that just wants to get you to the ground at all costs. Who's going to be in your chest, leaning on you against the cage, forcing you into a wizard defending single legs and double legs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be stupid not to see that first, gain that experience. I think a lot of people nowadays, even if they're wrestlers, they tend to play the striking game.
They do.
Because I don't know if it's a pride thing, ego thing, whatever.
You also have to strike to set up the
and that's true as well. Exactly.
About that.
Also, at the end of the day, I don't think Adesanya is very easy to take down, and I think he's going to get
difficult.
Harder and harder to take down as time goes by.
Which is why I want him to season a bit.
So let's see. I'm expecting that fight to actually do happen. If it does happen, I can't make a prediction yet. Let's.
There's no way to make a prediction now. If it happened today, I think I'd put my money on Jon Jones.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I think it's very interesting one down the road, and obviously with the Paulo Costa, I coming back to that real quick. That's going to be so fun. The lead up, the build up, the hype, the promotional tidbits are going to be coming out. He's going to use this as his like coming out party in terms of like, okay, here comes the global appeal. If it wasn't already there, here it comes. I'm going to transcend the sport soon. He's at the top of the sport, but he's going to transcend the sport very soon. Israel Adesanya has a different type of personality. Yeah. It's like a generational type of. This guy's going to be, he's going to be a star. He's going to flourish in a huge way.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't like veer off his current path.
And I don't think that's the kind of person he is. Just listening to him, and we've heard the guys speak and look like they're putting on a face. But there's authenticity and genuinity behind what the words that he's saying. I agree,
and I think the big factor here is
he's also 30.
I was gonna say that he's like 30, 31, whatever. He's like in his early 30s. So he's like, he does appear as this young face on the scene. But at the same time, he's not really that. You know what I'm saying? He's got some wisdom.
He's new to the UFC, but he's not new to the combat world, to fame.
Right.
He fought in front of a near sold out Saitama arena. He's fought in front of 55,000 people before. Because he was fighting in Asia for a long time.
Yeah.
So that wasn't some stage that he'd never been on. Now he's never been in Marvel Stadium. That's why it meant a lot to him, because he was in the nosebleeds watching Ronda Rousey's get knocked out by Holly Holm.
Yeah.
And then now he said I went from the nosebleeds to making nosebleeds. I love it. And that's it.
For real.
So Israel Adesanya is huge. Just stay tuned. This guy is literally like, just watch. This guy's gonna blow up. It's gonna be fun. We're ready. We're gonna be with it every single step of the way.
We are.
You should too.
Definitely.
So let us know in the comment section what you think is next for Israel. How do you think the Paulo Costa fight's gonna go? And if you think he has even a chance against Jon Jones, whether it be now or ever. Some people are gonna think the opposite.
Yeah.
Let us know down in the section below. We'll check you guys in the next video.
All right.
Peace.